What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Boom, look, I'm drinking a chai latte, just a tea bag and a little bit of honey. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I love the fall. I went outside, I read a book, but one thing I don't like about the fall is most definitely the seasonal depression. I'm joking, but not really though. I think within the bundle of energy shifting to become more intrinsic, become more self-reliant almost, things just start to move slower. I think with that comes a lot more introspection. Sometimes a little bit of depression happens during this season. A lot of people experience this. People make a lot of jokes about the things that they go through. I've been seeing a lot of those jokes come up lately. So this morning, as I was journaling, I was really reflecting on that. I truly believe that the most effective way to deal with those feelings when they arise, especially in this time, in this season, is you have to embrace it. Embracing the human experience as a whole. When those feelings come up, it's better to allow them to be there and allow them to exist within you so that you have the capacity. When you embrace the human experience, you decide for yourself, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel a little disconnected. But when you embrace those feelings, sometimes it can feel a little uncomfortable and it can bring a little discomfort to you. When you sit with those feelings and accept them for what they are, it's good to keep in mind that it'll eventually pass. I encourage you to sit with those feelings. Have a conversation with them, fully allow it to run its course, and I promise you that it'll leave behind a trail of understanding, peace, harmony. And in no way am I telling you don't go out and have fun or make any mistakes or run away from the discomfort. I think as spiritual beings, being a human, we're supposed to play around with those, and also with being a human, okay to embrace every aspect of what it means to be a human, right? It's okay to go out, have fun, make mistakes, laugh with your friends. I think as spiritual beings, I know I struggle with this. Sometimes I will go out, have a drink, dance, and just engage in what it means to be like a stereotypical 24-year-old. And then I'll wake up the next morning still buzzed and say, I can't believe that I went out and did all that last night. How dare I claim to be, spiritually aligned on my path. But the human experience is supposed to embody all those different identities, and we're supposed to play around with those so that we can get the full experience of what it means to be a loving human. We're supposed to be using those, and when we play around with those identities and we find out which one suits us the best, we become more full and we become more accepting of others, and we gain more experiences so that we can feel more unified to ourselves and others. So I just really do want to encourage you guys to not resist those human feelings, especially in this time of month, but just to accept them for what they are and to exist with them and sit with them and connect with them so that you can fully understand who you are in this moment and leave behind peace, and you'll be so grateful for that later on or even now in the moment. I also really want to encourage you guys not to beat yourself up too much for who you were yesterday or the last 2 weeks or the last year. It's all a part of the collection of experiences of who you are and who you're going to be, or who you decide to be right now, because that is the beauty of being a human, right? You can decide right now who you want to be or what identity that you want to embody. And despite the hurt, the depression, the trauma, you can rewrite the narrative for who you want to be and what feels most authentic to you right now. Another thing that I really wanted to share with you guys, especially now in this upcoming fall season, is the idea of contentment. Far too often, I think people go out of their way to chase happiness. Now, from a psychological perspective, happiness is short-lived burst of excitement, and it's a very fast burn. I also want to say this first and foremost: contentment is not settling. Contentment to me is when I am capable of fully appreciating the connections, the experiences, and things that God has put in my path and have gratitude for it, whether I perceive it as good or bad. Unfortunately, we have a bigger problem with this, especially in America, because in America we are always trained to continuously do. We have to always think about tomorrow or the next thing or what thing we can achieve or what more we can have, right? And our worth is often measured by what we have or what we can do. When we complete that task, the happiness we get from it is short-lived, and then we're on to the next thing. It's a conundrum, because being in a state of always wanting more or always doing more, it unconsciously cultivates your mind to have a sense of lack or inadequacy. That alone rips you away from feeling any kind of appreciation for what it is you have, what it is you're doing, the people that are showing you the appreciation they have for you, having any kind of gratitude for anything, and keeps you stressed about the next moment, the next day, the next year. And nobody's saying it's bad to have goals, but to the same extent that you have short-term goals and long-term goals, it's always good to come back to yourself and say, you know what, the thing that I worked for 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 month ago, I have that now, or I've completed that, and have gratitude for it and acknowledge that, yeah, I completed that, I gained that, and I worked hard for it. When you have gratitude for what you have, I truly believe that God shifts the universe and your mind to shift from having a lacking mindset to a having mindset. You start to see that you actually live in abundance, and the love that you think isn't there is actually just showing itself in a different light or in a different form that you weren't able to appreciate before. I specifically remember being in a psychology class. It was actually taught by my current mentor, and she was telling us about this theory called the self-determination theory. It's when 3 psychological needs are met in order for you to feel a sense of fulfillment and basically contentment, right? So when you have autonomy, competence, and relatedness, let me just make sure. Yes, when you have those 3 things, that is when you will start to foster those feelings of contentment, which basically means when you are at peace with life, you're contributing in a meaningful way, and that you're connecting with people on a deep level. That's all that means. So when you shift your lacking mindset to a having mindset, it becomes a lot more easier to embody those 3 aspects of what self-determination theory is referring to. I really just want to encourage you guys to take your time this season. If those feelings arise and you start to feel those down emotions, just to sit with them and to not reject it. Don't feel too much pressure to combat it. Just allow it to be, sit with it, have a conversation with it. Really accept the energy that is coming about this season. It's okay to slow down and accept those feelings. I understand how that could feel. I understand that there could be feelings of hopelessness or sadness. I promise when you're able to just accept it for what they are and be okay with how it feels, they will pass, and it'll leave behind peace, it'll leave behind contentment, and you'll feel 100 times better. But anyways, guys, go get yourself some pumpkin spice tea. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good one. All right. 2 out.